More bells now. Last night we told you about the campaign by campanologists to end the sound of silence for churchgoers on the Isles of Scilly.
Yes, for as long as they can remember, islanders have only had one bell sounding in the tower of their parish church, but now they have a full set of 8. Our Cornwall correspondent Steve Hardy was there to witness history as the bells were rung for the first time.
Ringing out for the first time in history. A gem of a sound for the jewels off the Cornish coast, the Isles of Scilly. Since the parish church on the main island of St Mary's was built more than 170 years ago, islanders have had to make do with just one bell.
But the bell was put in, I gather, sort of 10, 15 years after the church was built. They had one bell to toll the hour on the clock.
Last night, though, they rang the changes to mark the end of a year-long project which started in this foundry in London, where 8 bells, ranging from 1/4 to half a ton, were made. The bells were then transported by road and sea to the islands. This is the bell chamber where all the 8 bells are now hanging. But to try to get them from down below up to here and get them in place, well, that was quite a feat.
They all came up through trapdoors through the floors with a chain hoist. Most of them came up through this area here, which is the biggest pit.
David Maybury and his father John were the prime movers behind the £130,000 project. Last night, they got a ringing endorsement for all their hard work when the bells were dedicated in the cramped bell chamber by the Bishop of Truro, Tim Thornton.
And for the benefit of his church, we dedicate these bells to the glory of God.
Treble's going, she's gone.
The Scilly's blessed with such a glorious sound for the first time. And well, not quite. The chaplain, a keen bell ringer himself, has a confession.
I have already had a sneak ring.
You shouldn't be telling me that.
We have to test them out beforehand. Yeah.
As well as a call to worship, the bells will also toll to mark special events and sound out the hours. They were also going to strike on the quarter hour, but in a place where life moves at a slower pace, it was felt that was far too often to be reminded of the march of time. Steve Harley on the Scillies for the West Country Tonight.